Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State Governor approves appointment of new permanent secretaries. Oil marketers project further drop in prices of petroleum products as Warri Refinery begins operations. On the foreign scene, United States Treasury announces hack by China in major incident. And in sport, Aimba announces signing of 2013 AFCON winner Brown Ideye. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved the appointment of 3 new permanent secretaries in the state public service. The new appointees are Mr. Abdul Rafiu Fashola, Director, Administration and Human Resources and Secretary, Staff Housing and Loans Board; Mrs. Kafaya Sarumi, Director, State Council, Lagos State Waterways Authority, and Mr. Abdurrashid Muri Okwala, Director, Administration and Human Resources and General Manager, Motor Vehicle Administration Agency, NVAA. The head of service, Bodia Guru, expressed confidence in the capabilities and competencies of the new appointees, just as he affirmed recognition of their diligence, commitment, intellectual capacity, and dedication to effective service delivery. While wishing them a most rewarding and impactful tenure of office, Agoro stated that the appointment will take effect from the 31st of December. The head of service also added that their deployment will be announced in due course. Winners of the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI Every Home a Garden, an initiative for women farmers in Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, have been recognized by the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, as a way of appreciation and encouragement to sustain their home's gardening passion. The RHI Every Home a Garden initiative is the brainchild of the wife of the President, Oluremi Tinubu, across the 36 states of the country and the FCT, with a 20 million naira star prize to ensure self-sufficiency in food production in their homes. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu commended all the participants and thanked Mrs. Tinubu for her visionary leadership, the committee members and all stakeholders who contributed to the success of the initiative.
Now we are now enforcing them, ensuring that they know how it looks like. Not the one on the computer or the television, but you actually hold this thing, the watering can, the hoe. You have the experience and you do it, and you will see how the seeds, that when you plant it, after 2 weeks, you see it germinate. So they need to see this thing. This is not social media kind of thing, Instagram, Snapchat and all that. This one, we want them to use their hands to do it, whether they are in the school or whether they are at home.
On her part, wife of the Deputy Governor saluted the creativity, innovation, dedication, and contributions to the sustainability of food sufficiency and the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems for huge support. In a goodwill message, Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Jamiu Alibalogun, and his information and strategy counterpart, Benga Omotosho, who commended the initiative by the wife of the President and dedication of wife of the Governor in ensuring its success in Lagos State, urged the participants to encourage others in their communities to embrace the initiative, especially the younger generation, describing it as an effort to revive farming to enhance food availability. The winner of the 2024 edition in Lagos State, Mrs. Adeze Umankwo from Ekpe Division, won the sum of 2.5 million naira, while other 152 participants that made it to the grand finale received the sum of 100,000 naira each, and all the winners from the 5 Ibile divisions of the state received the sum of 500,000 naira each. The Nigerian Navy has announced plans to deploy armed fighter drones to intensify the fight against illegal oil bunkering and pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta. Chief of Naval Staff Emmanuel Ogala made this known during the flag-off ceremony of Operation Delta Sanity 2 at the Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder Jetty in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Ogala emphasized the need for armed drones to access hard-to-reach areas where illicit activities occur, hence the need for armed attack drones. He added that rejigging the operation will involve improved deployment of maritime domain awareness infrastructure, increased aerial surveillance using the newly acquired air assets, and increased intelligence gathering for enhanced situational awareness and efficient maritime security operations. The Association of Luxury Bus Owners of Nigeria, ALBAN, has announced an increase in the number of scheduled trips on the Lagos South-East and Lagos South-South routes, which will last until the end of Christmas and New Year season. A press statement by ALBAN President Nonso Bajaka says the said routes have been witnessing an unprecedented increase in passengers since the implementation of the presidential palliative commenced. Bajaka said this is also insufficient capacity surge in the number of passengers on the interstate travel route by present. The Jones Matriculation Board, JAM, the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME will take place in January 2025, but did not give the exact date that exercise will take place. Ahead of the exercise, JAM said it is prepared for what it described as unprecedented registration and examination experience. A spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, said to achieve this, the board has implemented comprehensive measures aimed at providing candidates and stakeholders with an unparalleled registration and examination experience. Benjamin stated that as prospective candidates await the official registration rollout, they are encouraged to create their profiles by sending a text message, NIN space, followed by their 11-digit NIN number to 55019. He said this will ensure they can complete the registration without delay when the time comes. Now to the rest of the stories. Oil marketers and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, says the prices of refined petroleum products are to drop following the commencement of operations at the Warri Refining and Petrochemicals Company Limited. Dealers in the downstream oil sector also say competition in the space will now be stiffer as domestic refiners will be forced to reduce prices to get buyers. They stated this following the announcement by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that the 125,000 barrels per day refinery in Delta State had commenced operations. The National Operations Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mustafa Zama, said the competition in the downstream oil sector is now going to intensify. He commended the efforts of the government and NNPC for making sure that the Warri refinery begins operations, calling for efforts to be doubled on ensuring that the Kaduna refinery follows. Also, the NMDPRA's Chief Executive, Ahmed Farouk, said the new refinery will drive down the price of petroleum products in Nigeria, adding that investors are building modular refineries which will benefit Nigerians. On his part, the Secretary of IPMAN, Abuja Suleja Mohammed Shaibu, said aside from reducing the prices of refined products, the commencement of operations of the Warri refinery will cushion the dollar demand for fuel imports. It would interest you to know that Warri Refining and Petrochemicals Company Limited will focus on producing and storing critical products including straight-run kerosene, automotive gas oil, and heavy and light naphtha. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, says the continued reliance on oil by the country will only lead to inequality, greater poverty among Nigerians, and mass unemployment. Delivering the 14th convocation lecture at Al-Hikmah University in Ilorin, Abbas advocated that Nigeria should harness its abundant resources and human capital to diversify its economy to ensure long-term growth and sustainability. The speaker said to secure Nigeria's economic future, the country must decisively move beyond oil and develop sustainable pathways for inclusive growth. He listed Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and the United Arab Emirates as examples of countries that demonstrated that economic transformation was achievable through deliberate diversification strategies anchored on policy reforms, infrastructure investments, and human capital development. And now to foreign news. A Chinese state-sponsored hacker broke into the United States Treasury Department systems earlier this month and was able to access employee workstations and some unclassified documents. American officials said the Treasury Department deemed the breach a major incident after disclosing it via a letter notifying lawmakers to the incident. Said the China-based actor was able to acquire a key by a third-party service provider. The U.S. agency said it had been working with the FBI and other agencies to investigate the impact of the hack. China denied any involvement, calling the accusation baseless, and saying it consistently opposes all forms of hacking. In our sports, Eyimba Football Club has announced the signing of 2013 AFCON winner Brown Ideye until the end of the current season. The Aba Giants confirmed the new addition in a statement it posted on its X handle. It marks the return of Ideye to the domestic league 17 years after leaving Ocean Boys to Europe, where he spent years playing for Neuchâtel, Zamax, Suchaks, and Dynamo Kiev. The Aba Elephants are hopeful that the addition of Ideye will help them end recent dip in form, which has seen them dismiss head coach Yemi Olanrewaju and hired Stanley Eguma to take over. Eyimba wielded the big stick after going 9 games without a win. That ends the news at 10. Just before we go, remember to always wear your seatbelt when driving. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration reconfigured 6 junction and roundabouts, Allen, Ikotun, Maryland, Lekki, and Ajah, under Traffic Management Intervention Plan? Can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved the appointment of 3 new permanent secretaries in the State Public Service. Oil marketers and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NPRA, says the prices of refined petroleum products are to drop further following the commencement of operations at the Warri Refining and Petrochemicals Company Limited. Also told you that a Chinese state-sponsored hacker broke into the United States Treasury Department systems earlier this month and was able to access employee workstations and some unclassified documents. And in sport, Eyimba Football Club has announced the signing of 2013 AFCON winner Brown Ideye until the end of the current season. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Adewale Oloporoku. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.